Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is Thursday, April 25th, 2024. All right, so we're going to talk some NBA Finals. We have a couple of narratives that I want to look over, and we can probably take some calls after I'm finished with the presentation. So, look at this. This is a narrative that I put out there probably 2-3 days ago, and I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be the actual narrative for the NBA Finals, but it is something that I want you guys to start exploring more, and hopefully we can come to a final decision before the final starts. So look at this. So in 1994. That was a big year for OJ Simpson, right? Because that was the year that he had the infamous run from the police, you can say. That was the year that he supposedly stabbed his wife, and then he went on this big chase. While something very important was happening in New York sports that day. On the day of the chase, the Rangers, they were preparing for a parade in New York City after they won the Stanley Cup in 1994, the New York Rangers. And on that same day, the New York Knicks were playing Game 6 of the NBA Finals against the Houston Rockets. And remember back then, on that day, the Knicks had a 3-2 lead over the Houston Rockets. But, even though that was such an important day for New York City, it was all overshadowed by this news of OJ Simpson running from the police in his Bronco. Even though it was very rare for these two New York teams to be, celebrating championships, basically, because even though the Rangers did win the championship that year, but the Knicks, they were just one win away from becoming NBA champions, and of course, they lost to the Rockets in 7, but they did have a 3-2 lead on the day of this chase. And there's multiple articles that are, that have been released in the recent years talking about reviewing this incident that happened in 1994 with OJ Simpson. And what I find strange about all this stuff is how parallel 1994 is to 2024. Because in 1994 we had an earthquake in New York City. Let me look it up so you guys can see. Something that's very rare. I mean, New York City, we don't really get a lot of earthquakes. But there was an earthquake, a 5.9 earthquake, magnitude or earthquake, happened on September 5th, on 9/5, or 5/9. Just look up the date so you guys can see. Let me see, New York earthquake dates. I think it was this one. It says 5.8, but I think it was actually bigger than that. Let me see. New York City earthquake date. It was September. If I remember correctly, it was September 5th. Here it is. No, it wasn't 44. It was 1994. Okay, so here it is. So, New York earthquakes. The largest earthquake centered in New York took place on September 5th. It says 1944. Yeah, this is not the one I'm looking for, though. It was one that happened in 1994. Or was it this one? Let me see. I had it right before the live stream started. I don't know where it went. Say New York earthquake, 1994. Let me see if it comes up. The reason I'm bringing this up is because, of course, we had an earthquake on this year, right? It wasn't as big as the one in 1994, but it was around 4.6 or something like that. Um, it might have been. It might have been this one, the one that I saw earlier, the 1944, and I probably confused it with 1994. But still, there was a lot of parallels with 1994 and 2024. Like I said, that year, the Stanley Cup was won by the New York Rangers. Now, if we go back to the 1994 NHL standings, I'm show you guys how parallel these 2 years are. NHL standings. So that year, the Rangers. Actually, let me look for. I'll look for a better one. I think the Rangers were the 2 seed, just like how this year they were the 2 seed. So let's see. So the Rangers were actually they were the 1 seed that year. They won 55 games, 23. No, this year they won 55 games that had 23 losses. Now in 1994, they had 52 wins and 24 losses. So just 3 wins away from 1994 season when they won the Stanley Cup. Now but the point is in 1994 the Rangers were the top seed in the conference, in the Eastern Conference. Actually, they had the best record in the league. They had the most wins and they had the most points scored. They had 112 points scored that year. And then this year, the Rangers also had the most points scored in hockey. They had 114, and they also had the most wins. So in 1994, the Rangers were the best team in hockey, and this year the Rangers were, on paper, the best team in hockey. Now the Knicks that year were also impressive. The New York Knicks were obviously in the finals against the Rockets. Let's see, NBA standings. They won 57 games that year. Of course, championship is 57. Actually, championship has a connection to the 50s. Actually, NBA Finals is 57. That's what it is. Just look up that 1994 NBA season. So yeah, so they was tied with the Hawks for the most wins in the Eastern Conference, but they have 57 wins. I think they were the 2 seed that year. I don't know if ESPN goes as far as back in 1994. Let me just see. I doubt it though. Yeah, it goes. ESPN only tracks them to 2002. But let me just show you guys the standing this year. The Knicks were the 2 seed. They won 50 games. And then this is what's interesting about the Knicks, right? If you guys noticed, there was only 2 teams that finished with 50 wins. And that was the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks also had 32 losses just like the Knicks did, right? And those are the 2 teams I think are going to play each other in the NBA Finals. Because, again, this is all connected to OJ Simpson. And let me just show you guys something real quick, and then we'll go back to showing you guys the parallels between the 2 seasons, the 2 years. So notice OJ Simpson equals 40 and 50. The only 2 teams to win 50 games this year were the Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks, right? Now, if you look up the Knicks' all-time record against the Dallas Mavericks, the Knicks have 46 losses and 40 wins. So I'm expecting the Knicks. Let's just say, because it's a little too early to put. This is a narrative that I really like. Let's say the Knicks go to the NBA Finals and play the Dallas Mavericks, and let's say they lose in 4 games. That means the Knicks will be 40 and 50 all time against the Dallas Mavericks. 40 and 50. You guys notice how OJ Simpson has gematria of 40 forwards and 50 in reverse. And again, the last time the Knicks went to the NBA Finals, it was in that 1990. Was it 1990? Well, the point is, the last time when the OJ Simpson stuff happened, that was the year that the Knicks went to the final. I don't think that was the last time the Knicks went to the finals, though. I think they went after that. But the point I'm trying to make is that this year we had OJ Simpson pass away. The Knicks are in great shape to go to the NBA Finals, and so are the New York Rangers. When the OJ Simpson murder happened back in 1994, that was the day that the Knicks were playing the Rockets. But they had the 3-2 lead. Of course, OJ Simpson wore the number 32. This year, the Mavericks and Knicks both have 32 losses and 50 wins. But that year, it was a big day in New York sports because that day the Stanley Cup was also being the parade was being prepared for the Stanley Cup winners, the New York Rangers. And the New York Rangers this year were the best team in hockey, and they are in great shape to win it all again. We shall see who they play. But yeah, all these things happen. Now these articles. Actually, let me just the last thing I don't want to go away from this. So again, the Knicks were the 2 seed in the East, and in 1994, this is the last piece I want to show you guys. NBA Finals. No, actually, NBA standings. That's what I want. Yeah. So So I got it right. So the Knicks were the 2 seed. Yeah, the Hawks were the 1 seed, even though they had identical records. They probably had a tiebreaker. So yeah, the Knicks were the 2 seed in that year that they went to the finals and lost to the Rockets. The year of the OJ Simpson stuff that happened with his wife and supposedly murdering her, stabbing her to death. So yeah, so the Knicks were the 2 seed that year. They were the 2 seed again this year. So a lot of parallels, and I don't know why I can't find it, but there was an earthquake in 1994. I just can't. I don't know, for some reason I can't find it. I don't know what happened to that article I was reading earlier. What happened? What earthquake happened in 1994? There was an earthquake in 1994, man. But for some reason, I don't know where that article went. I should have kept it open. A 4.8 earthquake to the jolted buildings in New York City. This was the one this year, the 4.8. I think I said 4.6. Yeah, it was 4.8, and the North Ridge earthquake. I don't think it was that one. Yeah, so you see what it says here? The largest earthquake NYC ever experienced was on September 5th, 1994, with a magnitude of 5.9. See? So funny that was on the anniversary of the other earthquake that happened in 1944. I think this was the article that I saw. A 4.8 magnitude earthquake just rattled New York City. That was this year on April 5th, 2024, around 10:20 a.m., right? Okay. But this article, it reminded people of the earthquake that happened in 1994. So let's see if we could go to that so you guys can see how these 2 years are very, very similar. From the OJ to the earthquake to the Stanley Cup to the NBA Finals, all scripted together. Has New York ever had a major earthquake? The largest earthquake NYC ever experienced was on September 5th, 1994, with a magnitude of 5.9. And this happened on September 5th, which is 5/9. And of course, OJ Simpson just died in a big 59 ritual. All right, so you see, but I don't know, for some reason this earthquake doesn't have an article dedicated to it for some reason. But yeah, so in 1994 there was an earthquake in New York City. How convenient for all these things that happened this year again, from the Knicks being the 2 seed to the Rangers being the 1 seed. OJ Simpson passing away this year as well, and for that year to have the murder happened that year, 1994. And the Knicks had a 3-2 lead, a number of their OJ wore. Of course, this year they have 32 losses, just like the Mavericks. The Mavericks and the Knicks finished the season with identical records. And, like I said, if they get swept by the Mavericks in the NBA Finals, they will be 40-50, the Gematria of OJ Simpson. And that means that the Knicks will finish with 205 postseason wins, and Madison Square Garden equals 205. Right now they have 2 wins over the 76ers, right? They need 10 to reach the NBA Finals. You reach the NBA Finals with 12, you win it with 16. Right now if they get 10 more, they get to 205, and Madison Square Garden has Gematria of 205. So they can close out the season with 205 postseason wins if they lose to the Mavericks in the NBA Finals. I know a lot of people think that it might be the Denver Nuggets. It might be. There's a lot of narratives out there. I'm just pointing out my narrative that I like. I really like this because of all the parallels with OJ Simpson. The guy died this year. We know how death, these rituals are always connected to the sports games. You got to ask yourself, what are the odds that OJ Simpson passes away this year and the Knicks are just doing good and for some reason? Knicks are never doing this good in the playoffs. But they're all dominating this year, though. Let me see. Look at this article. They actually put this article out this year. And there's a reason they're doing that. On April 11th, this article came out. Look, how OJ Simpson overshadowed one of the greatest days in New York sports history. In the morning, they had come to the Canyon of Heroes, a million strong, and everywhere was a song and a celebration for the New York Rangers. It was one of those bright New York days brimming with possibility, right on the brink of summer. Here in the blinding sunshine, the city would salute the end of a 54-year Stanley Cup quest. So the Rangers won the Stanley Cup after going on a 54-year drought. Of course, Jesuit orders 54. And on the day of their parade, OJ Simpson decides to run away from the cops in his Bronco after supposed to be killing his wife. And then it says here, later indoors, 2.5 miles uptown, the Knicks will be going for a 3-2 lead in the NBA Finals, hoping to put an end to their own miniature title drought of 21 years. And in the opening minutes of that game, the Houston Rockets that night, June 17, 1994, the Garden was, as you would expect it to be, defining rocked to its very foundation by hope and by fury and by anticipation. Then an odd thing happened. As the game progressed, it was a very good game. In the balance to the final seconds, the crowd grew quieter. It seemed distracted, and in truth it was. Some fans abandoned their seats to stand Virgil at concession stands, squinting and fuzzy. Pre-flat screens television, some crowded around their auxiliary press boxes set up throughout the Garden, crowding 5 and 6 deep because there were TVs there too. So it looks like while the game was going on, they actually put this news. This news was like it was being shown at the Garden, and that shows you guys how how scripted this stuff is. It all is, right? What are the odds that this magical moment in sports is happening, and then this guy who used to play for this guy, he has a big connection to New York City, right? He played most of his career with the Buffalo Bills. The moment that the Knicks and the Rangers are celebrating these iconic days in their history, one of the most iconic football players to ever play in New York City, OJ Simpson, is on the news. He's wanted for murder by the police. What are the odds? But of course, this series went to 7 games. And just think about it. They lost to the Houston Rockets, a Texas team this year. They can lose to the Mavericks, another Texas team. I don't know. I like this narrative, but we shall see. It's early. We know how this stuff is. A lot of stuff looks good in the beginning, but then come to find out, this is not what they're going with. We see this every year. Doesn't mean that it's not rigged, that it's not scripted. It just means that they have something else in store. But these are good possibilities if you guys want to, put a future in. Maybe it doesn't have to be a lot of money for the Mavericks to win against the Knicks in 4. Let's see. Let's just take a look at those odds right now. See what it looks like if you was to place those bets. So NBA Finals. Let's see if I can pick the exact outcome. Yeah, here it is. So NBA Finals exact result. So we got. Let me see if the Mavericks and Knicks are up here. So the Dallas Mavericks, and this is a long shot, by the way. So be careful if you guys are going to bet this. Don't get too crazy. I don't even think they have it up here. You got the Dallas Mavericks to beat Orlando. Yeah, if they got the Dallas Mavericks to beat Orlando, they got to have the Mavericks to beat the Knicks. I see Mavericks to beat the Heat. Mavericks to beat the Pacers. All right, so the Mavericks to beat the New York Knicks is plus 6,500. And let me see. The most you can bet on this is $300 on FanDuel. $308, and you win $20,000 if that hits. But I don't recommend anybody bets that much. You could put $25, you win $1,600. That's more than enough. This is a long shot. And once the final starts, you can probably take the Mavericks to sweep them, and you get even better odds. Yeah, so plus 6,500 if the Mavericks beat the Knicks in the NBA Finals. The only two teams to win 50 games this year, the Gematria of OJ Simpson. Yeah, 40 and 50. And look, OJ Simpson is also 113 like Dallas. Like the National Basketball Association. The sports summer of 1994. So you got to ask yourself, why did the Post put out this article earlier this year on April 11th, reminding us of that? And keep in mind that the NBA Finals does start 57 days after the death of OJ Simpson. NBA Finals is 57. Of course, the year that the Knicks went to the finals against the Rockets, they won 57 games. So if you guys want to call in, actually, that's 50 people watching. Amazing. If you guys want to call in, the number's on the screen, 646-986-0958. Yeah, it's plus 6,500 odds to come through. I think it has legs. It has a lot of legs. The Mavericks they look very good on paper. They look good. The way Doncic and Kyrie is playing right now, they're balling. If you think about it, them Nuggets they don't look that good. They are struggling against the Lakers. They might win that series, but think about the way they've won. Right, down 20 points. I mean, that doesn't look like a championship team to me. I know it's rigged. I know it's scripted. But championship teams don't usually go down 20 points in the NBA playoffs. I might be mistaken about that, but I don't remember a lot of teams. If you're struggling against the Los Angeles Lakers, you're going to be struggling against the other good teams that you're going to face. That's what I'm saying. Last year when they won the NBA Finals, they didn't go down 20 to anybody. So. Plus $6,500. I actually got $50 in my account. I'm actually gonna play that. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna play $50 on that because that looks good. Actually, I got $56 in there. I'm gonna play the whole $56 on there. I win $3,600 if that plays. So let's see. All right, so there it goes. I just played it. I won't show you this because I have other active bets on there. But yeah, I like that so much that I put my own money on that. So you guys can see that I'm not just promoting stuff that I don't play. Game 4 will be June 14th, so that will be right before the anniversary of this as well. Wow, look at that. June 17th, 1994. So I just want to look at one more thing. If you guys want to call in, the number's on the screen. Like I said, I'm taking calls. If you guys like other narratives you want to talk about, you can feel free to call in. Um, but this is the narrative I like. I don't think OJ Simpson, dying, it's a coincidence at all. We know how it was synced up with the Super Bowl. And think about it, Texas won the World Series. Might have another Texas team win the championship this year. So the NBA Finals is on 6/6. It will be 29 years later. And 11 days before the anniversary. What is OJ Simpson's birthday again? He born on yeah, of course, July 9th, 7/9. 33 days before OJ Simpson's birthday. And then it might conclude on the 14th. And that's also the kill date. Game 4 will be on the kill date for June. How ironic, right? The kill date. Tribute to OJ. Somebody says Denver and Celtics. Yeah, that's what everybody thinks. It's gonna be Denver and Celtics, right? We shall see. Last year was this year was 49ers Ravens, but that didn't happen. You know. Yeah, so in 1994, New York had an earthquake. Rangers finished and won the Super Bowl, and yeah, exactly. So somebody says they like the Bucks. Uh, the Bucks and other teams struggling against the TNE and the Pacers. Come on. All right, so if nobody wants to call in, we can end it there. If you guys have any observations, the guys watching this on the playback, please leave a comment. We'll read it. And if it's not Knicks and Mavericks, we'll come back and we'll look at it again. Um, like I said, I only bet a little over $50. I won't feel bad if I lose that. That's not a lot of money. And there are going to be better narratives out there that if you want to bet big money, you can. But this is not one of them. This is a long shot, plus 6,500 odds. Definitely a long shot. And look, this article came out in 2014, so they keep putting out articles out there, remembering the OJ drive, the night the NBA Finals no longer mattered. Hakeem Olajuwon's first title. Let me see. Let me look up Hakeem Olajuwon. So Hakeem is 61 right now. Finals equals 61. Born on January 21st. NBA Finals is 137 days after his birthday. NBA Finals is 33, I think it was. I think Finals is 33. NBA Finals is 33. And 57. And And the NBA Finals starts 33 days before OJ Simpson's birthday. NBA Finals is 33. See? So that's what that 33 is about. 3333333. So 33 days before OJ Simpson's birthday and 137 days after Olajuwon's birthday, the 33rd prime. NBA Finals is 33. Funny, he wears the number 34. They won the series 3-4 against the Knicks. And here he is at the age of 61. And history is repeating itself. Not with the Rockets, but with another Texas team. I think they would have made it too obvious if the Rockets were in the NBA Finals this year against the Knicks, the year that OJ died. Rental has that 39 Gematria. The name Simpson is also 33. So Simpson 33, NBA Finals 33, NBA Finals starts 33 days before his birthday. And he died at the age of 76, so right before his 77th birthday. This is the 77th anniversary of the NBA. New York equals 78. This is the 78th NBA season. And just think about number 78, number 77 winning the championship in the 77th anniversary of the NBA. Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Super Truth?
How you doing? Thank you for the call.
Good, good. Yeah, yeah. I'm listening to your, and this is one of the things that I love about the community, that I would have never understood those connections between the Knicks and Dallas on a gematria level, and just, the tangent history, through individuals like OJ Simpson. But that's definitely a good decode. I've heard a lot of one of my favorite ones that I'm following right now, and I know people hate me for it, but I think it's finally time for a modern day Lakers Celtics rematch. I think that it's interesting how it's 14 years after Kobe won his last championship. 14. I keep seeing the number 14 pop up. I wish I had more examples on hand, but one thing that I would find interesting: LeBron James equals 2662, I think, or some aspects of his name where I think it's LeBron by itself, James by itself, but somebody can fact check me on that. But he could go and win 2 rings in 6 years, matching up with his name. It could be the battle for the 17th, the battle of the 17th championship for the 18th. Kobe scored 81 points, so I figured the Lakers would be the 8th seed. They would take out the Nuggets, who I thought were going to be the 1 seed, as a 8 versus 1 upset like last year. But I think certain teams are magnetically attracted to each other. On a separate note, I think the Suns win next year against the Bucks, as far as like a rematch finals, kind of how we got a rematch Super Bowl. I wish I had my notes on me to really break down the decode. I don't want to take up too much time, but there's just certain things that I think certain things are true even at face value, and just let me know if I'm tripping. But usually, if the upcoming champions defeat previous champions on the way to their championship, it's one. That's just one observation that I've noticed. And 2, usually the team that has the best gematria narrative is usually faded in the public, or if they're favorites, there's a moment in the season where it kind of like a bad month, or where it kind of throws the scent off of the trail. And usually teams are magnetically attracted to each other. So you'll see the conference championship winner who loses in the finals or loses in the Super Bowl. Throughout the entire season, they have things that connect with the eventual champion. So I'll tune in and listen. But I really appreciate you breaking down the Knicks Dallas, just because it opens my mind up to, trying to connect the historical aspects Because they will use what's going on now, whether it's something that happens recently or something that happened in numerical connection to the events of the future. It's just being watchful.
Yeah, but how do you feel about, because these were the only two teams to finish the season with 50 wins, and if the Mavericks win the NBA Finals, they will pick up that 50th all-time win against the Knicks, the gematria value of OJ Simpson.
I definitely like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's so esoteric to where it's like if that's what ends up happening, like undisputed, you're one of the greatest decoders of all time. Nobody who I follow is even considering that. Some are saying Knicks to the conference finals, which I like, just looking at it, at face value, just like a NPC, just on ball, you're just looking at it on a basketball level. The Knicks are good. I love DiVincenzo, Hart. Y'all boys are balling, but like I'm a Heat fan. Last year, like they busted my parlay. The Knicks, I thought the Cavs were going to beat the Knicks, and the Heat. I did not think we were going to beat the damn Bucks. And if I had bet that parlay or even just made a ticket like that, man, I only won like 20 grand. I bet 100 on like 3 different tickets on the first round. I got the Lakers right. I got everything right except the Heat and the Knicks. But looking at the eventual decode, the fucking 223 Skull and Bones was right in our faces the entire time. And as far as on the east side, the team that had those Masonic, Pat Riley's a well-connected guy. Mickey Arrison's a well-connected guy. I mean, they don't call him, the mobster for nothing. Like, certain things like that. Like, I think if the Heat get good enough to reach the finals again, we may play the Knicks, just because of the historical connection between Pat Riley and just New York, Miami, just as far as one of the, triangles of the country, New York, LA, and Miami. So, I mean, I definitely do like that setup. It makes me want to look further more as far as what's been happening in Texas and New York and just the connections between what I haven't been seeing.
The Knicks,
but on a
the Knicks, the
basketball
Knicks
level, I
beat
just think
the Knicks beat the Pacers that year. They went to the finals.
right. Right, and even Indiana being good enough, because I mean, honestly, even without Giannis, why in the hell do we think the Pacers are going to beat the Bucks unless there's a gematria connection that most people aren't catching?
And what are the odds that this year, the Pacers, the Knicks could end up meeting, right?
That's solid too, especially with all these injury narratives. I just really feel like the injury narratives though are a fade. I think they're trying to fade the public. They may take out the Bucks or the 76ers in the second round. I think the Celtics, no matter what happens, I think the Celtics represent the East. I don't think Vegas has the lines that fat. I mean, not even just for this series against the Heat, but like so fat to win the East. Like you can't be like it's like you're not getting anything beyond 100% return. Like, it's not even plus 100 to come out the East. Like, they have them negative 130, negative 200 on some sides. So, that's one thing, just looking at it at face value, for me, I know that it's deeper than basketball. It's deeper than just ball goes in the hoop, best team wins. But trying to part and parcel just what teams pass the eye test and the gematria test, for me, the Celtics, damn, I really wish I had my notes. There's a lot of connections between that 2018 and what could transpire if they do play the Lakers that I've been looking into. I've been looking at that narrative for at least about 6 months. It may not happen, but I think there's something to Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, their gematria, and LeBron, and especially it being the year 24 too. I just figured the cherry on top would be the Lakers as the 8th seed to win literally the most difficult championship, like as the lowest seed. But I mean, 7 would still be a record too. There's a lot of narratives, and it's not too clear right now. But I'm definitely excited to see how the Knicks do. Just as a basketball fan, like I mean, you guys are playing great, but it's just so strange. It's so strange watching these last minute, like that Murray shot. it didn't. Anthony Davis didn't even fucking. He's too fucking tall to be contesting like that. And like, there's certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I
the
know
better
that
question would
magnets can
be
make the ball
why
go
did
in and shit,
LeBron?
but it's like, fuck.
No, I'm saying the better question would be why did LeBron take the last shot with so much time left in the game?
With the same thing that Jimmy Butler did. That bro, Jimmy Butler took that shot with 22 seconds left on the clock. I was trying to show my friend who doesn't know about Gematria, or he doubts it. He knows about Freemason. He's a historian. But I'm like, bro, you can't tell me that these numbers don't fucking matter when number 22 takes the last shot. Yeah, 22. I think they were up by or down by 2. 22 seconds left. Like, come on, bro. You can't tell me. You can't sit here and tell me. And then even when shots rim out, it's like, nah, dude. The physics just don't add up. The physics just don't add up.
Hey, you know what's funny? Anthony Mason, who went to the NBA Finals the year that the OJ Simpson stuff happened.
Yeah.
He died in the 59-76 ritual, just like how OJ Simpson did. Because Anthony Mason died on the 59th day of the year, 76 days after his birthday. And like how OJ died at 76 on his 277th day of his age.
And I keep running into 59s too that aren't even connected with African American individuals. I'll run across certain articles and run the numbers on it, and I'm like, I keep running into 59. Every time I think of 59, I mean, of course, the obvious, but I know Michael Jordan's a strong 59 connection too.
Michael Jordan is 59 and 76.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was 76 as well. And
Actually, let me just verify that, because I
born,
could be mistaken. Let me see. I'm pretty sure
no,
Michael
Kobe was
Jordan
born
has a
78.
76.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Michael Jordan is
Let me
59, 76. Yeah.
Damn. See, like it's there's I can't help but Matter of fact, I'm currently, I mean, I'm about to leave, so I guess it's cool to say, but I'm currently in Ocala, and one of the places I live nearby, it literally has a Scottish Rite, a masonry building, and of course they have the seal on it, and they have the number 32 in the middle of the seal underneath the American Eagle and the shield. And it's like I've always wanted to walk into the building, just to ask questions, but just knowing how this world works, it's like, dude, you show up on the devil's doorstep, you don't know, you may not realize you may be a target from then on, just trying to be curious, but it's just in plain sight. No one understands or even considers symbology to be so significant or important. It's like, really? So the Freemasons just love the number 33 so much where they'll make 33 pillars 33 feet tall in front of their headquarters. Really? Like that's just arbitrary. Arbitrary. I mean, matter of fact, I took a screenshot. I sent it to my friend. I'm like, bro, I catch these number duplicities all the time. I think it was the Bengals versus somebody. It was 22-22 with 8:08 left on the clock. I'm like, it happened to be a time or the end of a play, and it just so happened the play ended at 8:08. Like, it's just and I think in the shot it was number 22 for on defense or something. And it's just even when you try to show it to people's face, it's just in real time. I wish I would have bet on the Heat in real time when I'm watching the Heat. The Heat got to 13 points first, and I'm like, oh, Miami's 13. Or I think Heat is 13. All the numbers, all of the numbers that they usually hit when the Heat were down 58-61, I'm like, nah. Boston is 58, I think. Boston's 58-85 or something like that. Like, even though they were down, they had the right numbers. And you're one of the people who kind of taught me to watch the games live and make sure you're taking down notes. Because when you see these numbers hit, it's like, oh yeah, down at halftime. No, it's a lot.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
I used to tell people not to watch the games, but now it's the other way around. I think if you're gonna bet on it, you should watch it because the announcers they give you a lot of clues. Yeah, the announcers they give out a lot of clues. They say a lot of things that might give you especially somebody that's awake.
Yeah,
a warning.
And see the Shaq thing. I think Charles Barkley.
Like Shaq. Right before the game, he tells people that the Heat are going to win exactly by 10 points, and they win by exactly 10 points. when they were
Yeah,
14-point
and
underdogs.
they'll let them leak the script every now and again, but for the most part, I think they fade the public so much. Like, you know, when Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith, they do that FanDuel bit, you know, as far as like who's going to win the game or what you know, I have the game to go under, and Charles Barkley says guaranteed.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
mostly wrong.
Yeah,
He's trying to take your fucking money.
exactly.
And then sometimes I'll just bet, like, you know, they follow Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio. Like, I'll just bet according to how these dudes talk or what they, you know, what they're calling. They're there to fucking take your money. Period,
Exactly,
point
exactly.
blank.
They all,
And
yeah.
they have to know to some degree what the fuck's going on. Of course, the higher up you know, the more you know, I would imagine. But bro. This is too controlled of a system. I mean, I can guarantee you they have the technology to ensure shots go in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And other things that they can be complicit to, man. But I'm gonna look into that more, though. I appreciate you taking my call. That's a great observation.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. Thank you for the call. Yeah. Yep.
All right, boss. Talk to you.
All right. Shout out to that caller. He had a lot to say. Appreciate it. You know, it's funny. Anthony Mason died on Luka Doncic's birthday. That's funny. Anthony Mason was in the NBA Finals 1994. Died on Luka's birthday. If anybody else wants to call in, the line is open 646-986-0958. Isn't it amazing how this stuff is so scripted to the height and weight of the players? Like, for example, Anthony Mason was 201 centimeters tall and 113 kilograms. Oh, he weighed 113 kilograms. That's 76 days after his birthday on the 59th day of the year. Similar to OJ. He wore the number 14 like how Slave is 14. Luka was 16 when he died. He was the 53rd draft pick by the Portland Trailblazers, and Trailblazers equals 53. All right, let me see your chat. Yeah, I don't know why people are saying the Lakers. I mean, hey, they're down 0-2. I've seen miracles happen. But I think the Lakers and Celtics are done at 17, man. I really think that. All right, so if nobody else wants to call in, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you see anything, if you want to add anything to this video, leave a comment, and other people will come and read it and learn from your comment. Appreciate everybody. Let's see if the Mavericks do sweep the Knicks in the NBA Finals. Again, it's early, but narrative looks good right now. So you never know. Kyrie Irving has the same birthday as Jason Kidd. Kyrie Irving might win his second championship. Actually, will this be his third? I think this will be his third. Or it'll be his second, just like Kawhi Leonard, who won number 2, won his second championship. Let me see, how many rings does he have? Yeah, he has 1, so he's going for his second because he won number 2 with the Cavaliers. I think he wears the number 11 right now, which has numerology of 2. So will Kyrie Irving win his second championship? We'll see. We know number 2, Kawhi Leonard, has 2 rings. Kyrie Irving. Actually, let me see. Dirk Nowitzki. Birthday is June 19th. Mark Cuban is 65. 731. 731 is 31 days. Mark Cuban was born the 213th day of the year. The NBA Finals 213. They've given a lot of championships to the Mavericks, man. I won't be surprised they let this team win again. All right, so I'll leave it there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please hit the like, share, and please leave a comment and help the community out. Peace. Thank you for watching. Oh, Patrick Ewing is 61, huh? Oh, my bad. Let me just look at that real quick. Patrick Ewing, 61. So him and the large one are both 61 years old right now. Final 61. Hmm. 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 Oh man, I wish you guys didn't leave this stuff in the chat. I'll put it in the comment section because it's gonna disappear in the chat. Patrick Ewing, 6471. What's his full name? Patrick Aloysius Senior. Yeah, that is interesting. Him and Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing and Aladron are both 61 years old. Yeah, he wore the number 33. Simpson 33. 33 days before OJ Simpson's birthday, the NBA Finals starts. NBA Finals 33. Yep. All right, guys. Take care. See you next time.